What's up, guys? This is Hitchy Good, your favorite all-American freedom-loving gamer, and today we're discussing something that easily gets overlooked by thousands of Battlefield players every year, that being field upgrades. And with players coming back to Battlefield 4 in anticipation of the next Battlefield game, these recommendations could give you the slight edge you need when coming back to this awesome game. So make sure to hang out until the end of the video where I reveal what I believe are the best field upgrades in the entire game, depending on your playstyle, of course. Now, maybe this is your first time playing or you need a quick refresher, but field upgrades are packages that you can use to give you a slight edge in combat depending on your playstyle. Each upgrade has 4 levels of perks. The green bar in the lower left of your HUD will fill up as you and your squad complete objectives, kill enemies, and help each other out on the battlefield. However, if you get squad wipe, the perks reset back to level 1. So whenever you see that warning of, you're the last squad member alive, remember to play a little more cautiously until your fellow squad mates can spawn on you and continue your field upgrade streak. Now, y'all really seem to love my last tier list video, so we'll be doing this in a tier list as well. I'll be ranking these based on 2 things: how useful the perks are to an individual playstyle, and how much sense the levels of these perks make for the player. And you'll see that DICE really didn't think some of these through, but it's still important to be properly equipped before deploying. So let's get started with the bottom of the barrel and most useless of all the field upgrades, F tier. Now, if you're just loading into the game, you need to make sure that if you are running these field upgrades that you need to change them. Now, for some reason, the support class in Battlefield 4 didn't get a lot of love when it came to field upgrades, and the evidence of that is the indirect fire upgrade. Now, just to mention, some of these field upgrades are directly tied to a specific class and you can't use them outside of that, but I will make it clear on each one of these if they're tied to a class. Now, indirect fire automatically gives us an ammo bag upgrade for level 1, which allows you to deploy 2 ammo bags instead of just 1. Now, this is similar to the medic bag upgrade that we're going to talk about later, but I really don't see this helping your team out that much. It really just kind of serves mostly to give you points while your teammates reload outside of a choke point. Now, level 2 is pretty redundant for this class. The class that is capable of carrying not only the most abundant amount of ammunition of any class, and has the ability to give themselves ammunition whenever they want to, gets a perk to increase their maximum inventory of bullets by 50%, which is entirely useless considering that you almost never have to worry about ammo when you're playing support anyways. Level 3 is indirect fire, which is, it's the same name as the field upgrade, and redundant is the complete name of the game for this entire field upgrade. But it increases your ammo for the M24 and the XM25. Kind of niche, might help you at some point, but only if you're running one of those 2 gadgets. And rounding out this pretty useless field upgrade is resupply unit for level 4, which allows you to resupply other soldiers when you're in a vehicle. But if you're spending any amount of time in a vehicle, you should probably be running engineer anyways, or one of the 2 field upgrades that come with engineer. This is a very, very solid F tier. If you're running this, change it, okay? Now, that moves us up into D tier. Here we're looking at the default field upgrade that you get right from the get-go, which is defensive, and most Battlefield players have this equipped. Many new or returning players might feel instantly attracted to this, considering they want to take things slow, they want to stay live longer, and kind of get a feel for the game. And while this package does offer some benefits, there are simply better options to go with. Now, armor is your first level and is automatically equipped from the get-go when you spawn. And on every first level of the field upgrades that we talk about, level 1 is always unlocked when you load in with it. Now, this first level claims to reduce incoming damage taken to the torso by 10%. Now, sadly, through testing, we can tell that this is really only a reduction of damage by 7%. Any engagements under 35 meters, and let's be honest, unless you solely play as a sniper or DMR player, most of your engagements are all under 35 meters, this perk is going to be useless. Among most firearms in the game, the armor upgrade will not make any kind of difference inside 35 or 40 meters where most of your engagements are going to happen, and what makes this even less appealing, they land a headshot or 2 and the defensive field upgrade is absolutely useless. Level 2 decreases the amount of incoming suppression by 50%, which can be useful, although passive. In Battlefield 4, suppression doesn't really stick around for very long, so level 2 of this upgrade's benefit is pretty negligible. Level 3 activates Flak, which decreases the amount of damage from explosions by 15%. Not only can this help you survive pesky grenades on game modes like Rush around the MCOM, but this can also be especially useful flanking around behind sniper players and their camping positions, which will undoubtedly be defended by claymores more often than not. And since the M18 claymore does 112 damage, you could survive a full impact with 4 health points left to give you at least a fighting chance. But once again, this is level 3, so your squad needs to constantly be on their game to activate this perk, and it really would make the defensive field upgrade more appealing if this just activated at level 1. And finally, the defensive field upgrade rounds out with level 4 quick regen, which decreases the amount of time it takes to start regenerating health by about 20%, which could be marginally beneficial, but you won't see this benefit unless you and your squad constantly keep your perk levels maxed out. And additionally, this is useless in hardcore mode since there's not really any regen at all. So yeah, a lot of you are probably thinking, wow, I've never even touched my field upgrades before. And if that's the case, and you've got the defensive field upgrade equipped, you should probably change it immediately.
What the f is this piece of shit?
C tier. Alright, so we're moving up slightly in the quality of perks and packages Battlefield 4 has to offer, but it's still a pretty slow haul getting to the more beneficial ones. Once again, the support class is getting the short end of the stick here with perimeter defense. This really doesn't do a whole lot unless you just want to go absolutely crazy trolling the enemy with claymore kills, and I'll explain that in a sec. But level 1 is ammunition, and increasing inventory of bullets by 50%, which once again is almost useless for the support class. Level 2 is suppression, which increases the amount of outgoing suppression by 50%, and I guess this could nominally help out in a one-on-one gunfight with whoever you're shooting at. Level 3 is really the only reason to run this upgrade, which is claymores, which increases the amount of claymores you can carry to 3. But remember, it doesn't affect how many explosives you have deployed, right? You can only do 2 at a time.
No, I lay down 1 at a time, and then I do that 1,000 times.
No, but...
Now, level 4 might be okay if you're trying a niche gameplay style, like, I don't know, hiding your tank behind an impaps, because it allows the impaps to stay up longer, and that's about it. Pretty solid C tier field upgrade. Sorry, support. Oh, he doesn't even know we're here. Alright, let's go, let's go, let's go! Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, bitch! Woo! Now we're moving up a little bit in the roster and finding some perks that might actually make sense to run. Anti-tank to start off with. This is a field upgrade for the engineer class that simply, if you hate vehicles or love that long list of notifications on your screen about how many points you get from taking down a vehicle, you are going to want to run this. Level 1 of this upgrade is mines, which increases the amount of AT mines you can equip from 3 to 6. Now, DICE, I think they totally screwed up this field upgrade by making level 1 dependent on level 3. We're going to get to that in just a minute, but level 2 can be quite lucrative for your game, though. Level 2 is rockets, which is, I mean, that's the whole reason we run anti-tank. It increases your inventory of rockets up to 7, allowing you to deal a ton more damage without having to die or wait on an ammo box to refill your rocket ammo. Now, level 3 is deployed explosives. So, in order for level 1 of this upgrade to be worth it, you really need to always have level 3 activated. This increases your maximum deployed explosives from 3 to 6. So instead of just covering 1 road, you can cover 2 roads. So in essence, while it's nice to have the 6 mines that level 1 gives you, you really can't use them all at the same time until you reach level 3 of this upgrade, which seriously lessens the effectiveness of this field upgrade. Level 4 is Flak, which, like we discussed before, decreases damage taken from explosives by 15%. It might save your life every now and then. This is a good field upgrade, but because the benefits really don't kick in until you reach level 2, that's what kind of holds this back from A tier. Grenadier. Now this one is super popular among pyromaniacs who believe in accuracy through volume, or at least explosion radius. The level 1 perk you get automatically is grenades, which can be quite useful. This allows you to carry one more additional grenade on your soldier and instill just a little more chaos for the enemy team. Level 2 is sprint. I think we've gone over that enough. And level 3 is 40mm grenades, which increases the max amount of 40mm grenades that you can carry for your underbarrel launcher by 3. Outside of that, it is going to be kind of useless. Now level 4, just like in defensive, is flak, which once again decreases incoming damage from explosives by 15%. I really wish that they would just put this at level 1 to make the upgrades just a little more impactful to the game. Of course, I'm no dev, I'm just their critic, but you'll usually be running this in some CQB fights where grenade spam might be a problem, so flak is still definitely useful. I just wish it wasn't level 4. B tier. Mechanic. Now the mechanic upgrade is for engineers only. You don't need any other perk. This is the one that you need if you are driving or gunning. Level 1 gives us the fast repair perk, which allows us to increase the speed of both sabotage and repairs by 35%. Now this comes in handy during those moments when your driver is trading blows with another tank and you're behind them, repairing the damage as it comes in. Because this is a very real world scenario, and it's one that I find myself quite often in. So yes, this is a great perk. Level 2 is flak, decreasing explosion damage by 15%. You do need to keep in mind this is not going to save you from a direct hit from a tank shell or an RPG. It ain't that good, but it's decent. Level 3 is cover, which decreases suppression by 50%. Not really sure how much that is going to help at all here, but here it is. Once again, we see DICE devs oddly allowing the level 4 perk to be borderline useless. I don't know why they keep doing this, but in most of these, level 4 just sucks. And this case is repair unit, which allows you to repair vehicles you happen to be sitting next to. And when I say next to, imagine the middle seat in an airliner. Yes, you have to be right next to another vehicle for this to even work. If this upgrade had just one more level, that was at all useful, I'd put it in the A tier, but since level 3 and 4 aren't all that great, it's going to round out B tier. A tier. Alright, now we're finally getting into some field upgrades that are actually going to matter, and if you're paying attention to them and which levels of them you have unlocked, they can actually help out quite a bit. First off is Shadow. Now this field upgrade is available to all classes. For those players like me who love to flank and use silenced weapons to get a dopamine hit off of taking out that cluster of snipers who obviously aren't using their mics, this could be a top tier upgrade for you. This almost went into the B column, but levels 1 and 4 just barely edge this into the A tier. Now level 1, while passive, can be quite beneficial. Quick Unspot reduces the time you're spotted on the minimap from 8 seconds down to 6, and when flanking around trying to remain unseen, the less time you show up on that minimap, the more likely your covert mission is going to succeed. Level 2 offers another help with flanking, and that's the sprint perk. It increases your sprint by 10%, shortening the time it takes to get behind your enemy over some of those long distances that you might be traveling. And level 3 is reduced fall damage, which we already kind of talked about in the defensive field upgrade. It's simply almost useless. And level 4 of the Shadow upgrade is stealth, which makes you undetectable by motion sensors as long as you don't sprint, which in my opinion is a little niche, and I think the levels of this and many other field upgrades don't quite make sense, but the perk is still there should you want it. I think it'd be more useful at an earlier level, but it definitely ain't bad to have. Should have been level 3, but pretty decent A tier field upgrade. Now we're moving on to offensive. This one really is a jack of all trades, not especially specialized, but very well rounded. Level 1 is sprint, and we talked about this before. So in some modes like Rush or maybe even Conquest on Metro, where both teams are sprinting to the B flag, this really could be a great benefit. Also, a faster moving target is obviously harder to hit, especially if not everyone uses this perk and your enemies have to lead their target a little more than the normal player. Level 2, the ammo perk gives you guessed it, more ammo, 50% to be more exact, which could be awesome when you're going for some higher kill streaks and can't afford to find your local support ammo dealer that almost never drops ammo.
God, I need ammo. Oh God, I need ammo. Oh God!
Level 3 gives you 1 additional grenade to carry, and depending on how hectic the game mode is, an extra grenade could easily come in handy for breaking through bottlenecks. And level 4 gives you reduced fall damage, which we discussed before as being completely useless in any perk slot unless it's level 1, and this is all the way up at level 4. Next on the A tier list is Combat Medic. Now this one is my personal favorite. I love running Medic. I love keeping my squad alive and keeping a defense from breaking and being overrun, or keeping an aggressive push alive by keeping my buddies up and healthy. Level 1 of this upgrade is particularly beneficial in those CQB maps where you often experience bottlenecks like Metro and Locker. The Med Pack upgrade allows you to deploy an additional Med Pack bag, resulting in the opportunity to heal your teammates on both sides of the room, get a few additional points, and keep your team's push alive. Level 2 is Sprint. Once again, that increases your max sprint by 10%, which is always nice. Level 3 is where the field upgrade truly shines though. This is the defib upgrade, which decreases the warm-up time of your defibs by a whopping 100%. You can revive fallen teammates in a blistering speed, no warm-up, no waiting, just bam, 100% revive. And to be honest, the revive seems to me that it's even faster than the 100% that the game tells you. Level 4 of this upgrade, like many level 4s, doesn't really live up to a top tier perk, but you do get medical unit, which heals nearby soldiers as long as you're in a vehicle, which is pretty situational and passive to the point that you're not really going to notice. The Combat Medic field upgrade's true strength lies in level 3, and so much so that it's all the way up here in A tier. Now S tier for the best of the best, and well, unfortunately the Recon class nabbed the top spot here, but even if you're not a sniper, this field upgrade truly allows you to play as an aggressive Recon. After all, carbines are at your disposal in the Recon class. I suggest that you use them with this field upgrade being Spec Ops. The Spec Ops field upgrade has some really useful perks. Level 1 is stealth, so only sprinting is going to make you detectable to motion sensors, but if you're crawling or walking or crouching, it's not going to pick you up. Level 2 is C4 explosives, which increases your max inventory of Jeep stuff to 6, and let's be honest, if you're Recon, you probably stole it.
Jeep stuff?
Jeep stuff?
You stole my Jeep stuff?
What the hell is Jeep stuff?
You know what Jeep stuff is!
Level 3 increases your inventory of motion sensors to 5, which is pretty dope when you're using them a lot and playing aggressively, but it also increases the range of your tugs and your MAV by 40%, which is pretty doggone substantial. And then for level 4, quick unspot reduces the time you're spotted by 2 seconds, which can also be really beneficial as well. But now, for the last field upgrade in the list, well, sorry to all the assault, support, and engineer classes out there, because DICE gave a ton of love to the Recon class with field upgrades. While the Spec Ops field upgrade caters to a more aggressive playstyle with the Recon class, the Sniper field upgrade focuses more on those, you know, more stationary players, if you will. Level 1 is Hold Breath, which, you guessed it, allows you to hold your breath in stated scope for twice as long as normal. Not a bad first level perk. Level 2 helps with your accuracy under fire by decreasing the amount of incoming suppression by 50%, which could really help out if you're on a one-on-one gunfight with another sniper or someone with an assault rifle that's trying to gun you down at range. Level 3 is Quick Unspot, and we've spoke about that before. You're wanting to remain undetected up there in the hills. Well, the less time you're spotted, the better. But level 4 isn't bad either. It's actually a level 4 perk that is even remotely useful, and that's Advanced Spot. Spots your target for 45% longer than normal. That's a pretty substantial amount of time. Now, alright, so that's S tier. If you're sad that Recon class got all the goodies with the Sniper field upgrade, it's really nothing to fret about, because no sniper going 6-0 with no inclination to PTFO is ever going to get past level 2 anyway, so it's a wash. Don't worry about it. But there you have it, another successful tier list filled out, and dang, this one was a lot easier than the dadgum maps tier list with 33 freaking maps to choose from and rank. But if you want to see that, I'm going to have it here in the end card coming up. It's definitely a great one to watch. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content, and don't forget to leave a comment telling me what I got wrong, and don't forget to click on the join button to sign up as my recruit and get exclusive access to past live streams, emotes, and some killer looking badges. Other than that, God bless. Hit you good out.
Yeah, I gotta admit, that was pretty tits.